Yo, what's up guys, Aiden here. So today I made $1,000 trading stocks and I'm really pleased to be making this video as it's only the third time in the past year that I've made four figures. So in this video today, I'm going to show you exactly how I did that. I traded two different tickers, BTCT and BTCS, both Bitcoin related tickers that I traded as first green days. So if you don't know what a first green day is, please first go and watch the video linked in the description below. Let's jump straight into some charts and I'll show you exactly what went on. All right, cool. So two tickers to go over today, BTCS and BTCT. Let's start with Bitcoin actually, BTCUSD. So, where am I? BTCUSD. Okay, so Bitcoin broke out to new highs, okay, around this time here. So when this broke out, there were sympathy plays that kind of followed this. So often we have a big industry leader, and then in the land of small cap, we have some explosive tickers that move in sympathy to the sector leader. And one such ticker was BTCT. Okay, now this had this explosive move from the twos or the high ones all the way up to 26, maybe a touch higher after hours or pre-market. So I missed this whole move. That's cool. Many of you guys will surely have heard by now from me saying numerous times in my videos that when I miss the big run up, I'm going to look for a first green day bounce. And that is sort of my most profitable long trading strategy for listed stocks. And so today, coming into today and just in general, I knew that with this strategy, I want to start being more aggressive. I've tracked my trades and sort of being more aggressive is warranted. So yeah, like I say, I don't mind missing the front side of the move, especially because this is a sympathy play to Bitcoin, and I am still learning how to trade sympathy plays. They are sort of becoming more, it is becoming more clear to me how to trade them or how to spot them, but I am still not completely comfortable with that at this moment in time. But first green days to me are just so predictable. So big move here, retraces. Now let's jump to the intraday. We can see here that I drew this line on here. It's got this really key area of support. Touched it here, bit above it here, touched it here, topped out with it here. So this was a key level. When it broke that, I knew that this was going to be a profit-taking zone for me, which is why I drew this line on here. Okay, this was my potential other profit-taking zone, just yesterday's high of day. Okay, now when it broke that, I can see it's sort of creating some good range, decent range from its sort of like all-time highs from this run. At this point here, this could have held and it could have had a first green day sort of off this level, but to me the range wasn't really there at that moment in time. So I did enjoy seeing it crack and fall into this key area of resistance turn support. So that was a sign to me when it double bottomed here that this could potentially be the bottom of the first green day bounce. I would have liked it to have another red day, to be honest with you. I would have loved it if it gapped down this morning, because it would have offered if it broke sort of like 10 or come to 9 or something, it would have offered more range to my potential profit taking areas, but it didn't, and so I have to adapt to that. So what I saw today, when the market opened for pre-market, it was gapping up, and so to me I was thinking, sweet, if this comes down to this area, I'm going to buy it, and I want to get as close to this 1190 yesterday's lower day as possible. I'm going to risk off that. And I said in Roland Wolf's chat room about just before 6, around this time here, I said in the chat room, I said, look, I wish I was with Webull, because I'm with E-Trade, and E-Trade doesn't let you trade before 7. So I was like, I said I would buy this here now at $12.30 if it would let me. But I couldn't, and that would have offered me absolutely amazing risk reward, and I would have taken a full position size at this point. I had a real high conviction in this, but by the time 7 o'clock came here, it was at $13. And so that's a big difference from 12.30. That's 5%, and then another 5% to my risk, and then possible slippage. And so I still did take sort of 2/3 position size, I would say, but I wasn't, as comfortable to be honest. There is a sort of a case to be made that I could have perhaps waited to see if it retests, but often it doesn't. Do you know what I mean? Because people have the same idea as me. And when the broker's open at 7, like drug would be a great example. It had a first green day. Let's have a look at drug. When it had its first green day here, I really need to get a Webull account. So you can see here, pre-market, 7 o'clock here. So this is the key area of support around 20. And then 7 o'clock came here, and then boom, off to the races. It didn't look back. It didn't come back and check this level. And so that was very much in my mind, and I've seen it happen with various tickers. So yeah, one, I need to get a Webull account so I can get in before everybody else. And also, yeah, I forgot what I was saying. Basically, yeah, I missed my entry here. So missed my entry here, got in here. So that's cool, but I was a little bit further away from my risk. But you know, like I said, I had a high conviction in this setup, so I just decided to put the risk on and let the chips fall where they may. Slightly sized down to compared to where I wanted to be, but it is what it is. It didn't come back and check this level, so it was good that I got in, and that's why I did it, because I've seen it happen so many times. Did test my patience a bit, so when the market opened, did sell a little bit here, just like to take a piece off just to chill myself out. The problem here, when it's up at 15, I was expecting sort of a bigger push, really. I was expecting more of an explosive move. And at this point, I didn't really want to continue to risk off this level. It just seemed too wide. And so I didn't know what to risk off. And so when this little double bottom formed here, I sort of said, you know what, if it breaks 420, I'll take a piece off. And it did, and I took a piece off, and then it held. I don't like that I've done that. That's just completely random choosing levels. But when it held this high of day here and then pushed, I realised this actually does need. This felt like a lot more secure level for me to use. It is still a little bit wishy-washy, to be honest. It can retrace and hold and move. But when it held that high day and pushed like it did, good strong push, I did feel like this level would hold. So when it dropped again, I re-added the shares that I cut. And then it was just a matter of patience. I didn't sort of get like too scared when I saw it retrace. I just put a stop loss in at this point of 13.90 and said, you know what, I'm still going to be in profit. Let's just leave it and see what happens. Came down and held 14 perfectly, which was really happy to see. And then sort of this was my profit taking area. And so I sold like over half of my position here, let's say like 3/4 of my position here, because I didn't feel like the stocks, these particular tickers, had as much juice as others might have had in the past for first green days, especially given how explosive the front side of the move was. It hadn't retraced enough to have this explosive move. I didn't feel it done that. I only had one day of breaking support, only by 25, maybe 30%. So was a little bit more conservative with my price targets. But like I say, this price target was a result of it touching here, and topping out here. So this was a really key area for me. And like I say, yesterday's high of day as well. But I sold the rest of my position. My best sell was 1760, I think my best sell was. So yeah, I made $500 on that. I was pretty pleased. And the other ticker was BTCS. So this is almost identical to the last ticker. It actually was moving in sympathy to BTCT, which was moving in sympathy to Bitcoin. So it's like just moving further and further down the pecking order. Loved how this one set up for risk reward. Same as the last one, set up perfectly, just couldn't get in. But this one I could get in with excellent risk reward. So again, that's the daily chart. Huge run up. Yeah, huge big run up. Retraces its move, looking for a possible bounce. Okay, so trying to identify the area which it can bounce from. Okay, where is it showing me that it's got a potential bottom? That's what I'm looking for. And we can see here, okay, let's jump to the 5-minute chart. We can see here it's got potential support here, but also key, it's got that, it's sort of, it tried to break down pre-market and it couldn't, and then it came back and it came back and held this level. But I got in right at 7 o'clock here at 303, sorry, $3.03. So like BT, and you can see here again, look, another example of it has a straight push at 7 o'clock ish, roughly, slightly delayed, 7 o'clock, because people have the same idea and more brokers are open. So yeah, to sort of, like I said before, I sort of really do need to get a wee ball, so I can just buy like just a minute before will do, don't need much. So yeah, so I was risking this 291 level because my risk was tight here, 5%, so I did take full position, and I'm risking this 291 level. So came down, held 3 nicely, and then it was just off to the races. Let's look at the minute chart. So my profit target for this was $4. The reason I chose 4 was this area here, but also kind of, how do I say this? Given it's the range of the stock, it's the range of the stock. It's not got huge, massive range, and the market was kind of slow today in general, and so I just felt like a 30% move for this ticker, a 33%/40% move from this ticker from $3 to $4 ish would be best case scenario for me. So I was a little bit impatient with my sales on this one. So I sold a little bit too much during this chop here, so I had to get a bit scared, and then sold all the way up here. My best sell was 378, which I was really pleased with that in general. With this hard crack here on quite big volume, I probably would have, if I had any left, I probably would have sold it in here, especially I would have viewed this as a double top. So I wouldn't, first green day is a backside move. It's generally considered a backside move. It can sort of burst out to new highs of the day, but it is generally considered a backside move. So, days like today, it just felt like being a little bit more conservative. And so that's what I did in terms of my profit targets. So, yeah, like I say, I would have viewed this as a double top. I wouldn't have held for this. I know some people did in Roland Wolf's chat room, which is quite inspirational, really. So that was really, really nice to see. So another 500 on this means that I'm finishing the day $1,000 in profit. So really pleased with that. Let's hope for more big runners, which will lead to more fair screen days. So cool. All right, guys, I hope that all made sense. Any questions, as always, just please leave them in the comments and I'll do my best to get back to you. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you on the next one.